Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Tactical Tuesday. On today's episode, we're going to look at AC Milan, what players they need to sign, what manager ideally I believe will work best for them. So let's go straight into the video. So AC Milan obviously a massive historic club, won many Champions League titles, won many Serie A titles, but in recent years haven't been up to any standards of their history. So today we're going to look at how they're going to improve their squad to get back in that Champions League spot. This season they finished sixth in the league after a fantastic run after the lockdown break was over. They went on a 9-winning streak, 2 draws and 0 losses. A fantastic streak for them, and they look really good, to be fair, since the break. I mean, Zlatan was scoring goals, Rebic looked unreal. So yeah, really impressive things from AC Milan. But overall, in the general scheme of the season, it hasn't been a great season again for AC Milan. They finished 6th. They only got 6th because they went on a great run at the end of the season where other teams like Napoli struggled. So you could say they kind of got lucky, but obviously they deserve to be a 6th. I'm just saying, like, overall season, they weren't brilliant. Let's start off with the manager. Obviously, Stefano Pioli is obviously a manager. He signed a new 2-year deal with the club in July after obviously the great run they had post-lockdown. So yeah, I guess he kind of earned it during that run. And obviously getting into Europa League was massive for them. But as much as he's done a good job, I still think the right man for this job is Pochettino. And the reason why I think Pochettino would be a great signing for AC Milan is for both parties, really. For Poch, it's a weaker team than he had at Spurs, but it's the bigger opportunity and a bigger club to work at with players that are still young and he could develop in. For AC Milan, they get a manager that is known to build a squad and challenge. Yes, he didn't win anything, I understand that, but he still got to the Champions League final. He constantly made the top 4. So I believe it's perfect signing for AC Milan, and with the money AC Milan got, which probably spend more money than Spurs, and I think they've got some really good talents in there, he could work wonders with that team. So if I was AC Milan, I'd have probably not signed him to a 2-year deal. Tried my hardest to get Pochettino because I really think he could turn AC Milan around and make them back into Champions League football team again. I also believe Pochettino could have a better side in 4 years' time with AC Milan than he ever did at Spurs, with the money they've got, the resources, the size of the club, being able to pull players in. Like, I generally think the team he built at Spurs, which was fantastic, got to the Champions League final, you could build a better team in like 4 years at AC Milan. Now I spoke about the manager and who I believe they should sign. Whether they should get Pochettino or not, I'm going to highlight some key areas of the team where they really need to work on, whichever manager they've got, to improve their team and take them to the next level and get into that Champions League spot. So the most attention needed is definitely the right back position. I mean, that is obvious. They've been looking at right backs all year last year. I mean, earlier this week they were linked to Aurier from Spurs. Again, don't think that'd be a great signing. But I have highlighted 2 key signings that I think they should just go out and sign, and some honourable mentions. My first choice signing would be Emerson from Real Betis. Well, technically he played at Real Betis this season, but he's on loan from Barcelona. The 21-year-old right back. He's played 32 games, 3 goals, 6 assists. He's got 9 goal contributions in 32 games. That's a goal contribution every 3 games. He's I've got my notes down here. He's averaging 0.5 dribbles, 0.9 key passes a game. So he needs to improve on his dribbles. But I really think, because what AC Milan needs is an attacking fullback. I think he literally fits the deal perfectly. I mean, transfer market values him currently at 25 million. So you're probably gonna have to pay about 35 million, I think, for him. But I think that's money well invested. I think it'll be a perfect partnership for Theo Hernandez, who's been fantastic for AC Milan this season down that left side. I generally think he could be the player that could elevate their defence. And if I was AC Milan, I'd be trying everything at Emerson because he's played right mid and obviously right back, so he's got that attacking and defensive numbers. I mean, he's averaging 2.2 tackles and 1 interception a game, which is fantastic. Yes, he's only got 0.5 dribbles per game, but he's 21. That can improve. He can improve on that. But still, 0.9 key passes a game. That's pretty decent. So I don't think he's good going forward. He's good going back, and he's perfect for what AC Milan if they want another attacking. Well, they do need another attacking right back to play alongside Theo Hernandez. So for me, Emerson will be my number 1 choice. My second choice is Max Aarons from Norwich. Now, this year hasn't been a great year compared to his championship season, but obviously that was obvious. Norwich weren't playing. Like, they were playing good football, but they weren't getting the results they were needed. They were losing much every game. They were defending a lot of the games. So he couldn't really exercise or show off how good he is. But everyone knows how good he was in the Championship. I generally believe if he went as a second choice behind Emerson, I think if AC Milan got him on a cheap, not cheap, like cheaper than they would have got him, probably cheaper than Emerson, because transfer market values him at 20 million. So you could probably get him for around the 20 million mark. Maybe pushing more 30 actually, because he's an English talent. But because you're an Italian club, you might get it for less than an English club. But what I'm trying to say is, There is massive potential there. If AC Milan have the time to develop him, I think in a different league he might thrive. You know what I mean? With a better team, have more of the ball, can create more. I mean, he got 1 assist this season. He averaged 0.6 key passes, 1.3 dribbles. So that's not bad. To be fair, 1.3 dribbles for a side like Norwich is not bad for a right back. So yeah, I definitely have Max Aarons as my second choice if I was AC Milan. I think look to build him and invest him and like make him a better player in the next couple of years. Honourable mentions, obviously, Michael from Nottingham Forest. AC Milan have been highly linked to our right back Mike Cash, who's had a fantastic season this year. A bit like Max Aarons, fantastic year in the Championship. Was originally a right midder, gone to right back. Been our best player this season in my eyes. Definitely going to leave us this summer. He's too good for us. AC Milan, though, I generally think that's a bit too big of a step for him. But I can see why they're looking at him a bit like Max Aarons. So Mike Cash would be an honourable mention. I've also gone for Kevin Mbuma from Wolfsburg. He would be not a permanent fix, but a short-time fix. Really solid right back. I think he's underrated. Obviously, had a bad time at Newcastle. I understand that, but he looked really good at Wolfsburg like this year. So if you wanted like a quick fix, probably he'd be a player I'd look at. But there would be about 4 options for a right back for AC Milan that they need to work on. The 2 CDMs in midfield, Benechea and Kesse, I think are solid CDMs, and I really don't think we need to work on them as much. They're both 20 or 22, I believe they are, around that age. So good young talents, and they've done well for AC Milan. So I'd keep them going for maybe another year. If you feel like you want to get someone like Tonali in to play alongside 1 or 2, I think that'd be a great sign as well. Obviously a young player. But if you don't get him, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think those 2 CDM are pretty good with the cam as well of Rebic, who's been fantastic this year, on loan obviously from Frankfurt. They've got to sign him. Fantastic player. Obviously they've got Pieta, I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry, my pronunciations of words are shocking. But the Brazilian centre forward / attacking midfielder, fantastic player. Maybe as a future AC Milan, not sure. Obviously rumours are he might be leaving, but definitely keep Rebic in cam. Keep the Brazilian youngster as back, or I think that free midfield is pretty decent midfield. I don't have to work on it too much. And they're also highlighted that they really need to work on was the right midfield. So again, that right side, we need creativity from midfield. We don't get enough creativity from midfield, I don't think, in my eyes anyway. I've highlighted 2 key players that I generally believe would be perfect additions to this AC Milan team. My first choice right mid would be Buendia from Norwich, and one of the best players for Norwich this season, a very underrated player in the Premier League, a fantastic season for Norwich he's had this year. Even though Norwich have been bad, I think he'd be perfect for AC Milan. I mean, his numbers this year have been fantastic. 26 appearances, 1 goal, 7 assists. Now, I know they don't jump out at you straight away and be like, what? They're not great numbers. But it's his other in-depth numbers that jump out at you for a side of Norwich who have done poorly this year overall. 2.3 key passes a game. Again, I've seen his vision in games that it's unreal. Like, he should be getting more assists in my eyes. The amount of times he's played Pukki in or another player in and they've missed a chance, like a one-on-one situation. He should probably be on like double-digit assists in my eyes if he played for a better team. He also averages 3 dribbles a game, and that's really impressive again for a Norwich side. So it shows that he gets on the field, he gets past players. He also averages 1.4 crosses a game, so he knows how to play football down that wing. He knows how to get past, beat his man and whip a ball in, beat his man and play a through ball. So the player, I think honestly, he's perfect from link net, defence to the midfield to the attack. He's that middle man that will get them to the attack. And I don't think he could set up so many chances for this side. Like he could really be one of the best players in Serie A in like 2 years' time if he played for AC Milan. I don't think he'd be the best signing of the summer, most underrated signing of the summer if AC Milan could get him. I think transfermarket.com buys him around 14.5 million. So if you could be paying like 20 million for him, I think even if I was a Premier League club, obviously I know what you're doing AC Milan, but someone will come in and get him because this guy is too good to be playing in the Championship and definitely too good to play for Norwich in the Prem this year, and he's clearly shown that he's good enough in the Prem. So for 14.5 million, you're talking about 20 million they might want for him. If you're AC Milan, maybe you might be able to get a little bit cheaper with like obviously add-ons. So if I was AC Milan, I think this is a perfect signing for you. My second choice is a 23-year-old Rafinha from Rennes in France. Now, the reason I got him as my second option, again, another young attacking player. He's very pacey, he's very direct. His numbers are pretty good this season as well in a top flight division. I know some people don't regard it as top flight division, but it's still one of the top 5 in Europe. He's got 5 goals and 3 assists in 20 games this season from right wing, so that's a really impressive season again for another winger. He averages 2.2 dribbles a game and 1.4 cross a game, and also averages 1.2 key passes a game. So again, great stuff for his team. Attacks people. Like I said, I've watched his clips of him. He's very direct. He runs at people. He uses his pace and his power to get behind the last man, whip a ball in. And if he played for a better team, he probably has more assists. I might even have more goals because obviously when you play with better players, your space opens up. So I don't think he'd be another good signing for AC Milan. The problem is he's a bit more expensive than the first choice. He's valued at transfer market value is around 16 million, so he's probably looking at the 20 to 25 million mark. So it might cost AC Milan more money, but again, still getting just as good player as the first option. Obviously, I still prefer the first option, but if you couldn't get the first option, definitely go for this guy. This guy's pacey, direct. I think he'd also help AC Milan just as much as the first guy and could build into a really good player. I've got two honourable mentions that I'd be probably looking to if I couldn't get these two and look at other right wingers that may help us out. One would be Dondi Luca Bacchio, I think that's how you pronounce it, from Hertha Berlin, from the right side. Another fantastic season. If you watched a bit of Bundesliga, but when the football returned first, obviously I know a lot of people did because it was only football there. If you watched Hertha Berlin, you know how good this guy is. He's a bit older than the rest, but still got a good. I still think it'd be a good sign for AC Milan. Last option is a youngster called Calvin Steggs from AL Alkmaar. I think that's how you say it. It's from Holland. I probably pronounced that wrong. I'm probably going to take the piss out from all my uni mates right now as I'm watching this. But yeah, another young, exciting talent. Very young now. I think he's only like 19. So he's one of the players that if you get him now, you're going to have to build him and like not expect an instant impact. Where the first two options I selected, I generally think they'll come in and make an instant impact straight away. But yeah, they're my options. What do you think AC Milan should do on their right side? Now, the last position we're going to address is striker. Now, it's going to be a bit controversial because there's a lot of Zlatan lovers out there, and I do like Zlatan. And don't get me wrong, he has had a good season since he's been back, when he came back in Milan in January. But personally, I would never sign him in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong, he's still doing good for his age, and I get why they brought him because he's still a quality striker. But I just feel like they need youth in this team. And I just feel like he'll be good for next year, but then, you know, Zlatan probably move on or whatever. But I'm not taking anything away from Zlatan. I just think, if my eyes, I'd improve that striker role. Rafael Leo has been fantastic again this year. Has a really bright future and looked really good on the left side. So I'm looking at this when I'm bringing a striker in. I'm pushing him to the left and bringing a number 9 inside. So I'm going to look at it. So Leo will be on the left wing, and I'm bringing a striker in to play up top. So that's how I'm looking at it. So I still will include Leo because I think he'll be a good player. And it's looked really good on that left side during AC Milan's. Since the lockdown break has come back, he's looked pretty good on that left side. I have 3 players on the shortlist, but the first player we're going to look at is Marcus Thuram from obviously Borussia Mönchengladbach. Obviously, he's a striker / left wing, so you could even he's played a lot of the season left wing. So if you wanted to, you could put him on the left wing and play Leo as a striker, or they could just keep swapping throughout the game. That's another good tactic managers use to control the defence. Like, just keep making them switch. Because if you can have a striker on the left wing that keeps switching, you don't know, that is pretty impressive. And not many strikers can do that. So I can think of Martial that could do that, and Rashford that can do that in Man U. So it'd be a bit like that. But I think it could work. The reason I picked him is he's 22 years old. In 28 games, he's got 10 goals, 8 assists. Now, if he's played left wing for most, like, you see assists, but still. Fantastic season for the whole club as well, Borussia Mönchengladbach. But he's been their best player this season. He kind of dipped off by the end of the season, but I generally think he'd be a great sign for AC Milan, and he'd be my first option because I generally think he'd be a perfect fit for AC Milan, whether you want to play him on left and play Leo up top, or him down the middle and Leo on the left. It's up to you. You could even play Zlatan down the middle and him on the left and have Leo coming off the bench if you really wanted to. But obviously, I'm just saying what AC Milan might do. But I'd definitely look at Marcus Thuram. His transfer market currently sits, according to transfermarket.com, currently sits at 32 million. So you're looking at probably like the 40, 45 million mark for him to get him. What do you lot think? Do you think he'd be a good signing for AC Milan? The second option I've gone for is Victor Osimhen from Lille in France. The 21-year-old has played 25 times for the French club, 13 goals, 4 assists. Now, it's kind of been not a break. I think it's been a breakout season for him, and he's valued around 40 million on transfermarket.com, and he just looks he looks really good for his age. Like, he looks old. When players just look older than their age. Like, he knows the game, he knows where the back of the net is. He's fast. His eye for the game is pretty impressive. He knows how to beat his man. He knows how to go on the left shoulder. And like, if I was AC Milan, I wanted a genuine number 9 and keep Leo left wing. Like, you want a genuine number 9 that can only play number 9 but knows where the back of the net is. This guy is the man. Like I said, he's been really impressive this season for Lille. And at this age, at 21, and he's scoring that many goals in Liga. And yes, I know Liga gets disrespected, but still, not many 20-year-olds I know playing the French league, so he must be doing something right. But if I was AC Milan, I wanted the direct number 9 that was, just a perfect number 9. That's all he played, but fast, direct, easy man to go get it. But what do you lot think? Do you think you should get him or Marcus Thuram? Let me know in the comment below. The last player I'm going to put forward to you lot is Matthias Tuna, I believe that's how you pronounce it, the striker from Hertha Berlin. if you were here watching the Bundesliga previews and the reviews of the weekend game a few months back, and I used to do it with the lads, you lot will know how highly I rate this guy and praise him massively. He joined them in January, so he's only played 11 games, but he's got 5 goals, 1 assist, but he averages 3.2 shots per game. And if you actually watch him, the guy's got so much potential. I believe he used to be at RB Leipzig, so normally, if he's played for them before, he's pretty decent. And I don't think he's got a massive future ahead of him. And again, he's the cheapest option out of the three because he's probably shown the least amount of ability, because obviously the least amount of time he's played. And obviously, so he might not be able to sign him this summer because the guy been generous. So he might have to wait another year. But currently, his value market's at 22 million according to transfermarket.com. So he's the cheapest option out of the three. He's the biggest risk out of the three. But from just watching him, and I'm not saying I'm no football expert, because generally I'm not a football expert. But from watching him and studying the Bundesliga when it was happening and watching, he was one of the players that, apart from the big players, it was like, oh, this guy can play. Like, this guy's decent. And looking up at him, doing obviously my previews, I started like find out more about him. I don't think he'll be one for the future. Brazilian lad, striker. You can also play that centre forward role, so if you want to drop back a bit, maybe, I don't know, if you want to play the camp, obviously I don't know if you would, and play Rebic up top, maybe mix up a little bit, different tactics, but I don't think he could work really well for them. Anyway guys, that will do for the first ever episode of Tactical Tuesday. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. This one probably takes me a lot more effort than a lot of other videos I've done before, a lot of research, a lot of planning, a lot of pronunciation that I'm going to try and work on, but I still don't know how to pronounce some players' names, so I do apologise. Sorry if this was a bit messy. Obviously, it's my first time doing it, so I'm going to improve every week. But every week I'll be doing a different team throughout Europe's top 5 leagues of how they can improve. But yeah, guys, if you do like it, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new around here, why don't you hit that subscribe button? If you haven't already, go check out my TikTok account. We've released TikTok account, same at the official FRS, same as my Instagram handle. But yeah, guys, hope you lot enjoy it. Like I said, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, like that video, comment what you think I should do next, which team I should do next, and what players you should sign if you're AC Milan. Thank you for watching.